Uh, I knew the fellowship. So anyhow, I joined the fellowship. So licentiate, associate fellowship I have completed. Simultaneous, उसके बाद one by one I completed CWM, Chartered Wealth Manager, Chartered Trust and Estate Planner, Certified Private Wealth Manager from CIEL Institute, from Institute of Insurance Institute of India, Diploma in Health Insurance Underwriting, Life Insurance Underwriting, um, NCF Macroeconomics for Financial Markets, and like this. So just it was with passage of time I tried, and anyhow it was. So few certificates anyhow I able to complete. That's it. तो नथिंग न्यू बट ठीक है. एक एफर्ट लगा था उस टाइम में, लग रहा था कि ये होगा नहीं, बट बोलते ना कि एक पैशन था, एक जिद भी था कि ये कंप्लीट करना है. तो आई मैनेज्ड. तो सिंपल, नथिंग एल्स. And throughout this journey means what I found very tough, it was actually honestly Fellowship of Insurance Institute of India, because it was a thorough diploma course and I cleared, if I'm not mistaken, 17 exam throughout, licentiate, associate and fellowship. So I passed out 17 exam to complete my fellowship. So it was, I think, more tough than CFP and CWM because it was a long journey, licentiate, associate, and fellowship. So with my experience in life insurance, I started and I completed.
आपने लाइसेंसिएट, एसोसिएट और फेलो लाइफ में किया है, जनरल में किया है?
नहीं, एक्चुअली क्या था, ये कॉन्सेप्ट पहले था कि लाइफ और जनरल होता था. मैंने फेलोशिप कंप्लीट किया 2015 में, तो उस टाइम तक ये सिस्टम हट चुका था. नाउ इट इज एक्चुअली पॉइंट बेस के देयर आर द सब्जेक्ट. तो देयर आर फ्यू सब्जेक्ट मैंडेटरी इन एसोसिएट, फ्यू सब्जेक्ट मैंडेटरी इन फेलोशिप. Besides that, out of any subject you can choose, you have to score the points, and on basis of that point, if you are aggregated total that points, you are become associate, you become fellowship, like that. So if you have interest in life insurance, you can choose the subject of life insurance. If you have the interest in general insurance, you can choose that sort of subject. So it's a mix of it's overall insurance, not life and general as of now.
यानी अभी आपके कहने के हिसाब से ऐसा है कि लाइफ और जनरल का जो पार्टीशन था वो निकल चुका है?
एग्जैक्टली. खाली लाइसेंसिएट में आपको उसमें डिपेंडेंट रहता है कि आपको 3 सब्जेक्ट करना है, प्रिंसिपल, प्रैक्टिस एंड IC 1, 2 एंड 14. उसके बाद सारा ऑप्शन है, बट कुछ सब्जेक्ट है वो कंपलसरी है. वो आपको आउट ऑफ 4 सब्जेक्ट, लाइसेंस एसोसिएट में 2 सब्जेक्ट कंपलसरी करना है, फेलोशिप में से आउट ऑफ 4 और 5 2 सब्जेक्ट मैंडेटरी है, बट उसके बाद सब रेस्ट ऑप्शन है.
और फेलो के बाद सीधा एक्चुअरी आता है, राइट?
नहीं, एक्चुअली इज अ डिफरेंट सेगमेंट.
फेलोशिप
फेलोशिप
के बाद एक्चुअरी नहीं कर सकते?
नहीं, एक्चुअली इज डिफरेंट. इवन आप फेलोशिप नहीं हो तो भी आप एक्चुअली कर सकते हो, बट उसमें कुछ एग्जाम्शन मिलता है, वेटेज मिलता है, जितना मेरे को समझ में आ रहा है. तो जैसे मैंने फेलोशिप किया है, तो मेरे को कुछ एग्जामिनेशन में उसमें एग्जाम्शन मिल सकता है, या इंडियन फेलोशिप के ऊपर में यूके का फेलोशिप होता है इन इंश्योरेंस, अगर मैं वो देना चाहूंगा तो दैट इंडियन फेलोशिप इज ग्रांटेड, टेकन इनटू अकाउंट, एंड आई हैव टू skip few exams as per their standard. What exemption they are giving, that can be to the fellowship of III India.
So this is type of a lateral entrance.
Yeah.
लंदन का फेलो जो करते हैं उसका बहुत इम्पोर्टेंस है अभी, ऐसा सब एक दो दोस्त बोल रहे थे.
हाँ, तो our actually what India follow the UK, simple, in everywhere we speak English of UK. Contract Act, we follow the UK contract. Insurance, we follow the UK. So UK is highly recognized, that insurance fellowship. So it is worldwide, and fellowship is have also the weightage, but it is overall Indian economy, fellowship of India, and that is UK. It is globally recognized.
Okay.
But they give the weightage to our Indian fellowship.
Okay.
थैंक यू सो मच राजेश. राकेश जी, कैसा लगा ये इंट्रोडक्टरी?
Excellent sir, marvelous.
we are
I think we are peanuts.
Actually our in our Bengal is a intellectual hub. We have so many intellectual there, so many, and our all are friends also. They are all friends also.
True, very true.
Gautam,
That's why.
और मैं interrupt कर रहा हूँ. I also would like to add up one more things. CFP is very good. It's for our financial planning and everything. But while going to the Chartered Wealth Manager course, na, it was very exhaustive, very, very exhaustive. So I found CWA more interesting to CFP.
It was ना phone करो तो इच्छा.
That's why we need knowledge and knowledge. This is the last word. Today's scenario. Now, now I am introduce today's program.
166 7287.
7287.
Okay. Madam Sharbani Rai, she is last 25 years in our industry, and as a corporate trainer last 20 years, she is doing enough. And last 2020 we have done NISM 10A 10B as a crash course, commando course in 5 days, and successfully we have cleared more than 14-15 people just 1 month, September 2020. So we have the experience about NISM 10A 10B old syllabus, and now new syllabus is more vast. And in our country, today's scenario, if you are not become a RIA, but you need to know the NISM 10A 10B thoroughly for our business, because today's before declared model portfolio can't do research analysis, but can't do RIA. That types of changes is happening every minute. So we need to prepare ourselves in all respect to face any kind of compliance, any kind of regulations, everything. So we need to prepare. So welcome to Madam Sharbani Rai. Please hand it over to you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Gautam. I just now heard from Rajesh and from Rakesh also lot of things, and actually I enrich myself when I'm associated to all of you. Basically, I too had done my licentiate associated fellowship as a trainer because I was into insurance industry so for a long time, and working into learning and development basically on the policy making and all. So that's the reason. Even the first IRA book IC33 was written by me, and IC34 also when it came, it was partly I had some participants who actually associated me with that writing of that book. So when IC34 came, part of it was my feedback and some points which I added to it. So basically, so I was very much attached to this insurance industry, and it is basically my heart, you can say. So and insurance and beyond that, when I worked over there, I found that learning is never ending. Anybody can learn, and there should not be a reason why should we learn. The reason should not be why should I learn, why should I do the certification. When there is an opportunity to learn, we should learn, because growing up is optional. But still I would say it is now becoming mandatory because the regulation changes are happening, and we should be knowing all these changes. And just now Rakesh ji had a question that if I do my NISM 10A 10B, suppose I'm working as an MFD, so can I write it in my visiting card? Yes, you can do it. Write it just like that. What are the qualifications you are having? You can write it down like that. These are the qualification I have. means I have done my fellowship, I have done my NISM 10A, 10B, I have done CFP, but I'm not working as an MFD, RIA, but I'm working as an MFD, but these are the qualifications I have. You can mention as a qualification, not as a designation. Your designation remains as a distributor, but you can mention your qualification. These are the qualifications you have. You can mention it like that. But as per SEBI regulation, if you want to work as an RIA, there are certain defined regulatory which you need to complete, then only you can go for it. There are certain things called qualification criteria and certain things called certification criteria, and another is an experience criteria. Means there are 3 parameters. Number 1 is qualification, second is certification, and then is experience. When you have all the 3, then you can apply for it. That is the basic thing. And before I go to the detailing of it, I would just want to say something, that why should we go, since this platform is basically what I understood is why a person should pursue NISM 10A and 10B, and why they should do different other courses beyond doing whatever their regular activities. So I would say, since the day in and day out, life is changing, attitude of work is changing, attitude of people to us. When we are meeting the same investor after, before, pre-COVID and post-COVID, the situation, I think if you have noticeably pointed it, then the way they behave with us post-COVID, the attitude has changes, their behavioral changes is happening, not because only because of the regulatory changes, but people has adopted certain things during this lockdown period, because of which people are prone to, or they are pursuing to accept all these changes. Because if you are just a simple thing, I would say that I have seen people who never used to, my existing investors, I have seen that they never used to use their email IDs. But post-COVID, I have seen that they are using email IDs. They are coming up saying that, Madam, I have my email ID, can I update it? So this is a small change, but it is a change. That means people are going for a change. So, and we as a front end warriors, we need to change ourselves. We need to change our attitude in our work space, our way of working, our education, our environmental changes, whatever is happening, and we should be adapting as fast as is possible before the change comes in. So we might, just now what you said, that next 3 months there will be lot of regulatory changes. As a advisor, I would suggest that if we can thinking all this, that these changes are going to come, and we can prepare ourselves before the change comes, we should be able to adapt it as soon as possible the change comes. Otherwise, it becomes a threat to us, and sometimes our mentally we are not prepared to go for these changes. So it is very, very important to enhance our knowledge, and specifically this session is being organized, why a person should pursue for an NISM 10A and 10B. I just wanted to share something on that basically to in what we learn from NISM 10A and 10B. So we learn from this are the basics of personal financial planning, which is very, very important, whether you accept yourself as a incidental advisor or an RIA, whatever it is. But when an investor comes in, I'm just asking a question to all of you. So open question to all of you. How many of you, if they ask a question where your advisory answer request, how many of you can say, yes, sir, I am an MFD, I am not an advisor, so I cannot give you a suggestion? Can you say that? Because that doesn't mean anything to your investor or to your client, whether you are an RIA or an MFD. but it's important for you, because how long you will be focusing only on the product rather than focusing on the goal planning, focusing on the financial planning, focusing on the personal financial planning to enhance your business. So NISM 10A and 10B actually tells us the basic of the personal financial planning. It also shows help us to understand the time value of money, and even to evaluate the financial position of a client. And we also come to know that debt management or loan management is also a part of your advisory business. Debt management of your investor, loan management of your investor, how they should maintain their credit cards, how they should go for a loan, and if they have some existing loan, how they will be able to manage it. These are all the advices, you need to procure to your investor. Next is, we will be also understanding the concept of Indian financial market and Indian securities market segments. We would also be learning through NISM 10A and 10B equity, debt, derivatives, and managed portfolios like mutual funds, portfolio management, alternative investment funds. And beyond this, we also come to know through this syllabus is such a huge syllabus and has been precised in such a way that we will be understanding the concept of portfolio construction, performance monitoring, and evaluation of financial planning. And also we will also be understanding the operational factors of investment management, key regulatory changes for an RIA, and the ethical issues. As for example, just now you are having a question key, what are the compliances which is being coming up and how this compliances is going to affect our business, how we as an advisor will be handling those compliances. So we will be understanding all these things through this syllabus, through this NISM 10A and 10B syllabus. We will be understanding them. It's not that whatever is written in the book, that is the final thing which is being given. Syllabus is something which is given for a knowledge part, and changes might come, but every time it does not happen. The book changes as soon as the system changes, but the basic changes which is going to come up in the next 5 or 10 years, that is being identified in this book. But we don't know whether the book will remain constant or not. It can change, because the new syllabus, I would say, last time when last session which I did with my advisors, where I found that they had their NISM 10A was a theoretical subjective, gave a subjective knowledge or a theoretical knowledge, but now NISM 10A is a combination of previous NISM 10A and 10B and more. Previously NISM 10A and 10B together is present 10A plus more, means another more detailing thing is being given over there. So that is what is NISM 10A. And there is no theoretical, there is theoretical concept, but as well as there will be some case studies, theory based case studies, which you need to understand the various situation, and you have to give answers on those things. And next is I would also want to point out certain things regarding the questions which came up. So basically, if we want to understand the basic concept of what SEBI wants to define as an SEBI wants to say as an investment advisor regulations. So I'm just reading out the definition, you can listen to it. SEBI notified that the SEBI Investment Advisor Regulation 2013 with a view to regulate the activity of providing investment advisory services in various forms by independent financial advisors, distributors, banks, and some other entities. So they wanted to say that investment advisor is completely independent of providing investment solutions, investment planning, personal financial planning, goal planning to their client or their investment investors. That is what is the specific definition. And if you want to say define the or differentiate between an MFD and an investment advisor, MFD does all the activities which an investment advisor can do. MFD does all the activities, but except they are not officially designated to do the investment planning or the personal planning or the financial planning of an investment advisor. They are not officially being designated, but off the line, they can do everything. Because whether you want or not, you have to show a goal to your investor or to your client, because every investor tagged with a goal becomes more important to a client. Otherwise, it becomes a simple product to a client. A product which starts today can stop any day, but a goal started today will always be focused to reach the goal. At least the investor would think I have this a milestone to complete in my life. So they also get a target to complete. So everybody has a destination where to reach. So that is why whether you do be an MFD or an investment advisor, everyone is focusing on a goal planning. But difference is that officially you cannot do it. Here you have to do it officially. That you have to do an official financial planning, which you need to keep it for at least 5 years with you as a for your safety, because within this 5 years there can be any question from the regulatory whether you have done it or not. And even you have to do compulsorily the risk profiling of an investor. So to give a customized product or a solution, we as an investment advisor, it is important that you have to give a customized solution. It is not a selling of a product. It can be a multiple product given as a solution to your investor. But when you are doing the same thing as an MFD, maybe you are also doing multiple product as a solution to your investor, but you cannot designate these as a financial plan or a financial solution to your investor. And you are also not liable for the financial solution that you are giving to your investment, to your client. But as an investment advisor, when an investment advisor is giving a financial plan, he or she is liable for the financial plan that he is providing. Because the financial plan that an investment advisor provides has to be a written document. There has to be an agreement before they go into a contract. It's basically a contract. Suppose an investment advisor gives a financial planning, and vis-a-vis with the financial planning, he or she suggests some financial solution to the investor. Suppose in between, it may so happen that the solution that you have provided may not work properly. So in that case, you are liable for it because you are investment advisor. So immediately as a doctor, you have to give some antibiotics or give another solution, or you need to meet your investors and you need to speak on those lines, keeping your agreement which you have done with your client in the beginning, what solution he wanted and what you have given. There can be some changes which are regulatory changes. There can be changes in the market also. But investment advisor is irrespective of those regulatory changes or market changes. If I've given some solution, I should be liable for it. That is the main important thing, where you actually, as an MFD, you cannot do that. Although you do it unofficially. So basically is that. So another important is that just reading a definition, investment advisor means any person who for consideration is engaged in the business for providing investment advice to clients or other persons or groups of persons, and includes any person who holds out himself as an investment advisor or whatever name called. Non-individual means a body corporate, including a limited liability partnership or a partnership firm, or persons associated with investment advice shall mean any member, partner, officer, director, or employee, or any sales staff of such investment advisor, including any person occupying a similar status or performing a similar function, irrespective of the future association with the investment advisor, who is engaged in providing investment advisory services to the clients to the investment advisor. So suppose suppose I am an MFD. So there can be people working in my office. So it is all, there can be people who are supporting me in working in my office. So in that case, we normally say that everybody should be licensed, so that everybody have a proper knowledge. But it may so happen that there can be people who are not having an ARN number, who are working in our office, maybe as a support system. But suppose you are an investment advisor and you keep people working with you who are assisting you in your day-to-day investment advisory work. All has to be a certified investment advisor. That is mandatory. All have to have that certification. Suppose I can give an example. Suppose I'm an investment advisor, and one of my friends says that I too want to become, I would like to come join your work. So my first criteria will be that you have to go for the certification. Let me check your qualification criteria and also your experience. If all the three parameter matches, then only he can work with me as a partner or as an associate. Otherwise, I cannot take him as my partner, business partner, or as an associate in my job, in my work. So that is compulsory. As an investment advisor, that is mandatory. And next is I would say the eligibility criteria. If I say so, masters is as a qualification, master degree is must. Previously, when it was declared for the first time in 2019, in 1920, then the regulatory said that it was not a compulsion. Suppose you are already an existing investment advisor, you hold a CFP certification. So at that time, in NISM 10A 10B was not a requirement. So it often happened that people who had done a fellowship in through III, Insurance Institute of India, or maybe or other financial sectors, maybe an MBA finance. In that time, they said that in qualification criteria, masters is not a must. But after 2020, it has first time if you have given the NISM 10A or 10B as an additional certification beyond your CFP. Second time, suppose I have given my examination. Next time, if on 2023, if I renew my license of NISM 10A 10B, if I am an RIA working as an RIA, so it has an extension being given that by 2023, if I am not a master's, I have to complete my master degree. Okay, so previously it was said that you can be a master's of and in any stream, art, science, BCom, any stream. But now it is made compulsory. If you are a master, it should be in finance or in commerce. It should be a commerce graduate. and MBA, it should be an MBA finance, and financial related certification that person should have. And additionally, the certification courses which is being prescribed by SEBI time to time. Previously, it was said that CFP was the criteria, so CFP became a criteria. Now it is NISM 10A and 10B is a criteria. So you have to do a NISM 10A 10B certification. That is very, very important. And now today today onwards, if I say after 2023, if somebody wants to get a RIA license or wants to work as an RIA or as an investment advisor, then all these criteria is a must. That a master degree is a must as a qualification criteria, or or the person has done any masters in finance, or secondly is there are some prescribed universities also which if it is a distant learning, then SEBI has some prescribed university through which you can only complete your distant learning masters if it is not done previously. And if masters in finance, then MBA finance is not a must. In that case, MBA finance is not a must. And secondly is certification is NISM 10A and 10B, and also CFP is also a criteria. And next is your experience should be minimum of 5 years. That is the criteria, and that is what is given in the book as for regulatory changes. And if there are any exemptions in that, then obviously the SEBI is going to tell us how the exemptions will be provided. So these are the basic criteria, and but I would suggest that one who is pursuing as an MFD or an RIA can go for it. If you ask me regarding what an MFD can do, what an RIA cannot do. So in case of MFD, you can sell only regular plans, but in case of RIA, you can sell direct plans. And you can charge fees from your customer or your investor. You can charge fees for the solutions that you are providing. So there is an option. Suppose an investor can come to me, I can provide a solution, and I may not, the person may not can take the suggestion from me and can buy directly from any applications. So it can also happen. I can only charge fees only on the advisory that I have provided, and I should be liable for it if he is unable to reach his goal. And that is a part which and second thing is that if you say whether an RIA can sell regular plans. So if once you are selling direct plans or providing investment solutions to a person and you are charging fees, you cannot sell regular plans. So you have a you do not have, if once you are charging fees from any person selling direct plans, you cannot take commission simultaneously. It means there should be an either or, whether you charge fees or you take commission. So if I want to take as a RIA also, if I want to go for regular plans, yes, I can go for regular plans. In that case, I cannot charge fees. So both fees and commission both cannot be charged together. So either or, he or she has to choose either or. So these are the things which is actually required, and I hope that all of you should be focusing for NISM and pursuing for it, because it is not a difficult one. But since the syllabus has increased a lot, that's the reason we need to give more time to study for it. It's and since these educations are not these certifications are not a compulsion that you need to go for, but as a regulatory perspective or the market changing scenario, this subjective knowledge has become very important as we face different challenges, because sometimes I don't know whether you all are facing it or not, but I often hear that people come up to me whenever I do a training session. They say people are going using different applications to buy different products themselves directly rather than taking suggestions. I will say that is not a threat. That is actually an opportunity for you. If you know that person is going forward, why not we approach that person? I can ask that person why he has done it. Mental strength I should have to ask that person once that why he have gone for. Do you take a medicine without a doctor advice? If he says no, then who is liable for it if you are going wrong? And I've seen people that when I ask this question, I've seen people that once they are pursuing for doing their self investment through different applications, but later on when I asked, I got many answers, and through them I found out a solution myself. And this can happen when you have a discussion or an analysis with your, or keep an open forum with your investors or different people who are going for it, and we can enrich ourselves from them, and we can also find out solutions from there, and can find out opportunities from there, how we can pursue those investors who are actually investing directly, and why not taking an advice. So, and these are all these queries are actually being answered in NISM 10A and 10B, and this book is very, very important, whether you like it or not, because it is a tedious job again at your age. After pursuing so many work, you have to take out some time for the examination, but it is a challenge for us at this age. If we do it, it's really a challenge for us. And but still we should keep, as an advisor we face more challenges on our day-to-day life. So this simple study is not at all a challenge for us. It's something which is done. We need to read it and we need to go. So thanks to all of you. Thank you, Gautam.
Rakeshji, question.
Yes, I have a question. As she said, advisor either have to charge the fee or sell regular plan. This can be on selective basis, based on client to client, or we have to select first. What will be our course of action?
Select first.
Select first. Either way, if I will select, it is on the fee basis, then I cannot charge any client. I cannot sell regular basis forever.
Yes.
And secondly, within last few months, I have seen many RIA who shed their RIA degree and they are simply working as a MFD.
Yes, you can go for, because RIA.
Why those people shed their RIA status?
See, it may so happen. See, it may so
many,
happen.
not only few, many RIA.
See, when you are individually working as an RIA, there are a lot of compliances which you need to do. You have to keep for your compliance, you have to, any time you can have an audit. Anytime you can have an audit, and their audit means each and every client you have to keep all the prescriptions, I would say, whatever you suggested, from the time of meeting the client till the time you are providing a solution. So when you are working as an individual advisor or investment advisor, then the question is, since the documentation is quite tough, very, very tough, and the compliance is very tough, in that case, individually working as an RIA, you have to keep a lawyer, you have to keep a chartered accountant, everybody, you have to keep in line to maintain all the records. Because anytime within 5 years, whatever number of clients you have accumulated from any of the clients, they can ask you, send me the conversation, whether you have it on WhatsApp, whether through email, whether or a written document. If they want, you have to provide for it at once. Means you do not get time. So that documentation, those compliance part may be a challenge for an individual to continue with it, which is not not required in case of an MFD, because in an MFD they have directly told that you are selling product, you are not giving any investment plans. Because as an suppose I'm working as an investment advisor, or suppose you are my investment advisor and you have suggested some solutions for me according to the goal planning that I have done. I have all the rights. Suppose I don't have, I have seen that my fund is not working, the solution that you gave is not working properly, and I can discuss with you and I'm not getting a proper answer from you, then I have the full authority to write directly to SEBI, to the regulator. This is what he has told with the proper documentation, that this is what I have been told and this is what is actually happening. So it becomes difficult. For an MFD, these are the things which are happening, may be happening, but comparatively low. Because since they are not giving a prescription on the plans they are providing.
So documentation and communication is very important.
Documentation, compliance. Even you have to keep all records from the, suppose I am your client, I am your new client, from the time I have you have started interacting with me, within these 5 years, whatever you have done, record keeping, you have to do all the record keeping client wise, whether in WhatsApp, whether in phone call. If you have done a phone call, that recording has to be there. If it is a written document, then it has to be done in a written document. If you have changed any plans, then you have to write it down why you have done the changing of the plans. If you have done any asset allocation, why you have done the asset allocation, that proper answer has to be given.
So justification should be there.
Yes, suppose you have given an X solution to the investor, and now you said ki, now after 2-3 years you are saying that you have to change this, or you need to I need to do a asset allocation of the investment which you have done for the last 5 years. Maybe some has to be shifted to debt, some to hybrid, maybe some to equity, like this, whatever it is, or you need to start an SIP now. Whatever suggestion you give, whatever you give, each and every documentation is very important. Why you have, if you have done a profit booking also, why you have done the profit booking? Suppose you have done a profit booking and the market has gone up after that, and the investor can give you an official mail, why have you shifted my investment? So you have to give a proper answer to that, and all the documentation has to be there, why you have given. And anytime, whatever suggestion that you have given, there can be questions on that also. What you have given, you have to have a proper answer for that.
Suppose so I want to clear 10A and 10B just for my knowledge enhancement. I don't want to register with the SEBI as an investment advisor.
Yes, you can go for.
It is possible.
Ekdam possible. Okay. You can always go for, but NISM 10A and 10B gives you actually a subjective knowledge, helps you to do the calculation, helps you to do the goal planning. See, as an incidental advisor, you can always work, because whether you are an MFD also, I know 100% you are working as an investment advisor. Maybe you are an investment advisor is not working like that, but you are working. Why I'm saying you all are working? Why? Because that is why you have shown the eagerness to come to this session. Why you are in this session? Because you yourself have shown the eagerness to Gautam. Yes, we want to join it because we have that urge of learning. That is why we all are here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any question? Open forum. And madam, you cleared the how one can MFD and RIA simultaneously, how can do it?
Nobody can do MFD and RIA simultaneously. Both cannot be done, either an RIA or an MFD.
Any other family member can be NFD from the same RIA family. Even his wife or his children cannot be MFD. If I am a RIA,
Your related people means you, your wife, your parents, your children.
cannot do MFD.
No.
Okay.
Any single
So, madam, brother can do MFD.
See, brother can do MFD. That clarification is not given in the definition. Only whatever I told you, that is what is only being given. The only husband, wife means if husband is an RIA, wife cannot be an MFD, children and parents. That is what is given in the definition.
Immediate family members cannot be.
Immediate family members cannot be an MFD. Yes, Jyoti, you want to say something?
Yeah, hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm CFP. Then is it necessary to do again means this NISM level 1 and 2?
NISM, if you want to work, as an RIA, if you want to work as an RIA, then it is a compulsion that you have to go for NISM 10A and 10B.
But I'm CFP also, no? From last 10 years.
I'm a CFP also. I'm also a CFP. But still, I have to do NISM 10A.
No, but it's extended till March 23.
No, it's
CFP.
It's extended.
CFP certification as a entry level for RIA is extended till March 23.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. If it is extended till March 2023, then you have to complete it before that, for the next 3 years.
No, I am not getting completed.
So I'm saying suppose I have completed my CFP. Okay. So if I have done my NISM 10A and 10B also, and I want to work as an RIA. Okay. In that case, it has been extended in 2023. There is a liberty being given from SEBI.
Yeah.
Suppose in case of certification, in case of qualification, and in case of experience is not, in case of qualification and certification, there is an extension being provided from SEBI that within March 2023, if suppose you are not again renewing your certification of NISM 10A and 10B, then how can it be considered for the next 3 years? You need to give an exam and you can extend your license, no?
Okay, means even though I am CFP, and if the certification is not extended another 1 year or 2-3 years, whatever, FPSB certificate is not CFP certificate is not renewable. Means not renewable from their side. Extension is not renewable from their side. So I have to complete NISM before March 23.
Yes.
If I want to go for RIA, and if I don't want to go for RIA as a continue as a MFD, I cannot.
Then it is not a compulsion. But for your knowledge enhancement, you can obviously go for.
But as for can I charge fees simultaneously? Incidental fees simultaneously. No. Incidental also not possible.
No, either fees only can be charged by if you have an RIA license.
Okay.
Incidentally, you can give the advice only.
Incidentally, yes, sir. Incidentally, you can give an advice, but you cannot charge fees.
Yeah, and I can give advice as a MFD, means just for mutual fund purpose. And if I have other certificates in that concern, no? Means if I also have IRDA license, so I can give advice about life insurance, general insurance, etc.
That is a different sector. So
advice only, also verbally, not in black and white.
No, I can give advice for insurance. No, I have IRDA license, and you are
but you cannot give advice for mutual fund.
No, not other products.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
And even who are already taking RIA, and if he or she think that he will not take any fees from the client for their planning, they also not it is not possible, because SEBI tells that everybody should take charges from the client if he is a registered RIA.
Yes.
Free is free available, not there. Free charges not, it will be compliance. You can't do it. Without charges, you cannot run the RIA. This is the another feature.
Many ifs and buts are there.
No, well, you've said that only incidental you can do, but when you give the proper advice, you need money, minimum or anything, but nothing, zero money, you can't do the advice. So nobody can take the RIA license if that rule is worked. No, made today's session question one is a single person, how they are able to do MFD business with RIA. Is it possible? Yes or no? And how it possible? Madam, clear it.
See, MFD business I have told that MFD can always go for an NISM 10A and 10B for giving an investment advice. That is also not officially, but unofficially. And there should not be any written record, but there, if you see, why, and the importance of it is that whenever you are suggesting a product to your investor or your client, so you need to do a self-analysis also on the product, a research analyst on the product that you provide. Even you are seeing the market changes, there are a lot of things you have to prepone and postpone because of the things that are going on. So in that case, I would say that NISM 10A and 10B doing is a must. Is a must, because without doing that, how can you do a calculation? Suppose your investor comes in or your client comes in and says to you, "Hey sir, I have done a SIP with you, as you have told me. I have started an SIP of 5,000 rupees. Do you think it is enough for me?" So how, if you cannot tell your investor that I am not a RIA, I am an MFD. Instantly you should be able to know how to do the calculation, so that you can show him actually the calculation that how the SIP will help him to reach his goal, or what should be the actual amount of the SIP which would help you to go for it. So these are the small things which are very simple, but these are the questions which comes to us. As a we need to handle our investor in such a way so that they can free fall on us, and that can happen when we have that knowledge. Because if the person feels that you are knowledgeable and you can discuss a lot of things, or can you discuss all the changes that coming up before the change comes up, you can always guide him. It is very, very important for a client or an investor to free fall on you, because that trust factor develops. So in that case, I would say today, if you find the people, one who is pursuing finance or doing MBA on finance, or maybe honors on finance, or maybe a commerce graduate, NISM 10A and 10B is a compulsion in their studies, because it gives it is a compulsion, and they have to pursue this examination, and there are classes going on constantly because of this. So these are a part of it, and I would say NISM 10A and 10B should not be an option for you. Rather, it should be a mandatory for you if you want to work in this industry. So that is the only reason I would say, I can say, and that gives you an impact on the financial planning, personal planning, personal financial planning, on the equity, debt, markets, why today people are saying that a balance advantage or a hybrid fund is so important for an investor, why people are saying we should go for a multi-cap or a flexi-cap, what type of product it is, what is the amalgamation that is happening within the product itself. How can you analyze without doing NISM 10A and 10B? It is something which is given in detail on this book. So that those detailing, if you want to know, I would say that it should not be an option, it should be a mandate for you to go for it. Thanks.
Rajesh, have any question you have? Unmute yourself.
Sorry. Thank you, ma'am, for such a nice elaboration. Ma'am, I have one question as already asked by our fellow Ramesh ji. MFD and RIA. If you want to do MFD, you cannot do RIA. If you want to do RIA, you cannot do MFD. But as I have heard, means it is coming that both MFD and RIA can meet all together. Is it possible, or is it coming soon, or it's a remote? First of all, want to know, is there any news that I can do both MFD and RIA together? Thereafter, my second question.
No, you cannot do it.
There is no such news.
No such news.
Okay.
See,
And
because in case of MFD, they are the SEBI is saying you can if you go to the AMFI side, they are saying that if a customer comes up and tells you, I want to take an X product from you, give me an SIP for that. So as an MFD, you have to give it, because that is the requirement of the client. Suppose a person is coming to a medicine shop and asks for your medicine, that is an MFD job. So simply he gives the Calpol or a paracetamol if it asks for. But when you are going to a RIA, that means you are going to a doctor. If you are going to a doctor and asking him that give me a paracetamol or a Calpol, then he would say, I cannot give you in such a way. You have to go through all these things, then you can go for. For example, you have to go some test, pathological test, or maybe certain tests. For example, the same thing is done by an RIA, is that you have to do a agreement, you have to do a risk profiling, you have to understand the job of an investment advisor. As a client also, you have to understand what is the job of an investment advisor, and the investment advisor also has to discuss with the client his goal planning, his personal planning, his liabilities, his debt, his loan management, how he manages his credit cards, what is the background of his family, how he runs his family, who are the person who is responsible, where his responsibility lies, what are the financial responsibilities, how much of financial responsibility, everything. There are a lot of questions you have to complete. Then only we can come up to the point that these are the solution I can provide you for the time being. But if the investor says, no, I cannot go for so much of amount because currently I do not have such income, I will not be able to do it, then I have to provide an alternative plan. I cannot suggest a product. I can say you have to take this type of product. I cannot mention the name of the AMC also as an investment advisor. I cannot take the name of the AMC also when I'm giving a suggestive plan to my investment advisor. I can only say the composition of it, not the name of the AMC. For example, suppose if you see today's doctor, they actually write the name of the medicine, but actual advice is where they do not write the name of the medicine or the company name. It should not be written. It should be the composition that should be written. It is the chemist who will be deciding from which company it should be given. So also is an investment advisor. He can give the composition. You need a product where this much of equity and this much of debt is required. So I can provide the composition. The client can come up to the point, yes, madam, you give me the suggestion where to invest, and I can give him the product in that way, suggesting, considering all the AMCs, which would be better for me to give. And if the investor says, no, madam, I don't want from you, just give me the advice and tell me what is your fees, I'll give the composition, I'll take the fees, and he can go to an app also in front of me, sitting in front of me, he can open the app and you can buy it. I can help him to buy, or he can go to a different, altogether a different person, and he can buy it. But I have got my fees, that's all. It is my advisory fees. That is how it works. Because I cannot take the name of the AMC also. I have to be impartial as an investment advisor. I can say the composition, not the name of the AMC.
Now, ma'am, I have a few more questions or more points to discuss. NISM exam, level 1, level 2, all these are very good. These are for, say, understanding knowledge, rules, regulations, all these are very fine. But as you being in market, right, you are, say, myself or anybody, our colleague, we are earning as a distributor. So for the sake of our commission, how do we cope up? Because RIA model as of now, I don't think that such a hit product or hit model, right? Because India as a country as a whole, where penetration is very low, you can see the insurance penetration as of now after 1956 LIC, since more than 75 years of a LIC, and privates almost completed 20 years. Even after that, the insurance penetration is hardly below the 4%. And mutual fund is also not very good. Though we are in the urban area, we are always, all time, we are talking about the mutual funds. But is it double digit? No. As of now, mutual fund is also under the double digit, within the double digit. So where penetration is not up to the mark, though gradually it is increasing, agree. Equity markets in the last couple of years, demat account are now almost 7 to 8 crores. So penetration is increasing, but people's mindset are not up to that level where the acceptability of RIA is in the market. I'm not talking one to one or specific. I'm talking here as a generalized, right? So how do you see the future of RIA compared to vis-a-vis the mutual fund or distribution? Because for the sake of my commission, how can I shift to the RIA model? And when there is arm's length, family members cannot be a mutual fund distributor. So how can I bet on RIA? That's my main practical question. So I am not yet finding any solution. That's why I am, as of now, I'm stick to my distributorship, and I'm very happy because of all this certification. Clients understand that the fellow member has the knowledge, fellow member is talking, he's looking after my interests, and that don't mind you are earning commission because they are the businessman or they are the salary person, right? So they are working and they are paying for that. In the same way, they honor that if you are giving advice, you are earning commission, we don't mind. As soon as means till you are serving us, you are giving us a good advice. They don't find very much difference between RIA and MFD. Here we are talking RIA and MFD. They understand Rajesh Mehta as an advisor. They understand Rajesh Mehta as their colleague, supporter, or their friend who is guiding and holding them. So how do you see the future of RIA vis-a-vis the MFD or whoever? Means this is my question. Because since last 10 years, I don't see, because even last couple of years, say Motilal Oswal, they have surrendered their RIA, right? So all these big RIAs have shifted to the MFDs. So whether trend is from RIA to MFD or from MFD to RIA, my now main question is this.
Exactly. So I would say, I would not definitely say, but see, currently if you see that previously mutual fund was not a product which you can say ghar ka product, and everybody knows about it. So ghar mein product pahuncha nahi hai. So that is why it was a challenge ki people, whenever they today also, if we find most of the money is either in the bank or in FDs or in post office, whether they know that the percentage is low or high, it doesn't bother. My father has kept it in post office, I too am keeping it in post office, my next generation is going to keep it in post office. But yes, market is changing, that I would say. But if you say about the perspective of an RIA, yes, but yeah, perspective on RIA, I would say yes, there will be changes, but it will take time, because the penetration would take time. Because if you see the business of a mutual fund, it is not decentralized yet. Means this business or this product घर घर में अभी तक पहुंचा नहीं है. Everybody doesn't know about mutual fund. Most of the people, if you ask for, although they invest thinking राजेश जी है, हम इन्वेस्ट करते हैं वहां पर, लेकिन थोड़ा तो फियर अंदर में है, अगर कुछ हो जाए तो मेरा क्या होगा. So that fear factor always works. So it will not become so popular as we are thinking it now, or it won't become so popular within next 5 years or 10 years. But yes, the trend is, since this, as an RIA, you have the option of giving and financial advice. The business actually increases when you give a financial planning to your customer. So that I would say. And I would also add to it, if the government focuses on RIA, if the rules and regulatory things becomes a little bit liberalized once again, then people will again push up to RIA. Because since regulatory changes are happening and there are a lot of things changing in the in this 2022 1st April onwards, if we say, so many changes are happening. That's the reason there might be things happening like this. People are surrendering their RIA. I can also tell you, in 2008, when there was a market recession, there are many people that had happened who did not renew their ARN license themselves. Because of the thing, they had a fear factor. What will I do if I working as a mutual fund distributor? So it also happened. But now again, if you find for the last 2 years, when the market had shooted to 61, so then people again, when people are coming to me and asking me, madam, I want to invest in mutual funds, so all of a sudden I too have decided that mere ko ek ARN lena parega. So I have started. So I cannot say you definitely whether RIA would be, yes, if since becoming an RIA is the procedure is very much stringent, because for an advisor to become a master degree all of a sudden, to do an MBA finance all of a sudden, to renew every 3 years NISM 10A and 10B, giving an examination where there is a negative marking also, 0.25, 0.75, negative marking is also there, and instead you have to score 60% out of 150 marks. Yes, it becomes a challenge. So in this stringent process, there can be a challenge where RIA license may not come up so soon or so fast. But there will be licensing coming up, because people are trying to develop themselves in their business. With the changes that, see, if I see my parents or our generation or the previous generation, if we see, they are not proficient in using mobile phones, email IDs, or OTPs, internet banking, UPIs, etc., etc. But if you see this generation, there are next generation. If we find, even a child can use an UPI, even a rickshaw puller is using an UPI, even an auto driver is using a UPI. I've seen people in this unorganized sector also. People are prone to develop themselves or coming up. So in that case, RIA will be a focus from the government side, but provided this stringent process becomes a little more liberalized, then only it is possible, because that is also depending upon the regulatory matters.
And not only 10A, 10B, who are using their certificate CFP, CWM, that also be like 10A, 10B, after 3 years, that will be appear for exam, for renewal, not CP there. No CP will be allowed. No CP option. That challenge is there also. And madam, can you share the regulatory where it's written on the book where about RIA regulation? Can you share?
Yes.
It will more quacks, because today today's one program has at 12 o'clock a program done. They are told us why anyone can do both jointly, RIA and MFD.
But it is not there in the book, because that is not a regulation being provided in the book itself. If you see, it is being clearly written over there. An investment advisor shall follow.
First page, you show the first page. Otherwise, nobody can understand what is this book.
Actually, I have taken out the page. Okay, then again I have to go back. So NISM 10 years.
So first page, then go to the page number 400 something, where written it.
See, I just want to, these are the, before I go into this, this is the question pattern. This is the assessment structure. If you see, this is, I hope everybody can check it. So this is the assessment structure. It is equivalent to a CFP and more than that. Now, the syllabus is, the examination consists of 90 multiple choice questions and 9 caselets. Caselets means small case studies. Case-based questions, there will be, these case-based questions are not calculative, but theory-based case studies, small case studies. The structure is multiple choice. There is 90 questions of 1 each mark, that is 90 marks. 9 case studies, 6 cases, each case with 5 questions of 1 mark each. So that comes to 30 marks, 6 into 5 into 1. And there will be 3 case studies, 5 questions of 2 each mark. And this will be of 30 marks. So the total marks comes to 150. Previously it was 100, now it is 150. The examination should be completed in 3 hours. Previously it was 2 hours, so now it is 3 hours. The passing score of the examination is 60%, which is 90 marks out of total 150, and there should be a negative marking of 25% of the marks assigned to the question. So this was the structure, basically. So here, if you in this chapter, if I see regarding the fees which you have, you had a question. So here it is already given, an intermediary shall not increase charge fees for services rendered without proper advance notice to your clients or your investors. So when you are doing an agreement to your client or your investors, that whatever fees you are charging, you have to be, it has to be written there in the document. Suppose I just give an example. Don't take it as take it something authentic. I'm just giving you an example. Suppose you take a person is investing 10 lakhs of rupees and you keep the whole fund in liquid fund. Any company liquid fund, that is a debt fund, and you keep it over there, and you are charging a fees maybe 1% of it or maybe 0.75 of it. So the client can give a question, and it has happened also. Why people are, you are saying that why people are surrendering their license and all. Suppose a person is charging 1% of fees or maybe 0.575 of fees, keeping the total money in liquid fund. So keeping in liquid fund is, liquid fund we say as a fund for parking something, or if you do a profit booking, or maybe for the time being. So the whole fund, if you have kept it in the liquid fund, you have to justify why you have kept it in the liquid fund and why you are charging fees out of it. Because the fund is not functioning over there. And what is the reason behind it, that you have taken as a huge lot of fund and kept it in the liquid fund? It may be because I'm getting 0.75 or 1% charges as the fees, so I kept it over there. So it can be like that. It can be a conflict of interest. So that is why people are saying that people are often surrendering their licenses because there are a lot of question coming. If you do something, then you have to give an answer to it. So intermediary shall be prompt in disbursing their dividend, interest, annual accrual income received or collected on behalf of the client and investor. So you have to have all the detailing of your client. So that is very, very important. Second is this part. If you see, just to give you a so here it is being given, asset under advice shall mean the aggregate net asset value of securities and investment products for which the investment advisor has rendered investment advice, irrespective whether the implementation services are provided by the investment advisor or concluded by the client directly or through other service providers. Family of the client, you had a question, shall include individual client, dependent spouse, dependent children, and dependent parents. If you say brother, it is not mentioned over here. So next is financial planning. If you say financial planning shall include analysis of client current financial situation, identification of the goals, and developing recommending financial strategies to realize such goals. So if you are working as an RIA, then these are the different parameters on which you should be keeping a proper record of it, which becomes a difficulty for an RIA if he is not proficient enough or do not have a team of, as I have told you, somebody, if you are a investment advisor, somebody working in your office is also has to be an NISM 10A 10B certified. He or she should have that same level of qualification, same level of experience, same thing has to be there. So that is also a case. Suppose somebody has taken RIA license in the name of the company and he has kept 3 people working in his office, but all are not NISM 10A 10B certified. All do not have the same qualification. So how can he continue the RIA license? That also may be a reason why they have surrendered. It is not because always of the stringent study materials that is being provided. It is maybe because of the stringent rules or regulatory that is being given. So that is also a case. Next is investment advice, means advice relating to investing in purchasing, selling, or otherwise dealing in securities of investment products, and advice on the investment portfolio containing securities or investment products, whether written or oral or through other means of communication for the benefit of the client, and shall include financial planning. So any changes that you do, any product that you suggest, any portfolio changes happening, any enhancement of the portfolio, or maybe a asset allocation, whatever it is, all has to be a documented procedure. If you say that I have spoken over it over phone, then you have to keep the recording of it, and you have to show it or provide it as soon as it is asked for. Investment advisor means any person who for consideration is engaged in the business of providing investment advice to clients or other persons. Group of persons include any person who holds out of himself an investment advisor by whatever name called. So a person, so see, this is the rule because of which maybe some of them has surrendered, because suppose one person is an investment advisor, so the team working in his office all has to be an investment advisor, so all has to have the proper certification. So here it is given, person associated with investment advice shall mean by any member, partner or officer or director or employee or any sales staff of such investment advisor, including any person occupying the similar status. It has to have the similar status. So everybody in your office cannot have the similar status. Then everybody has to be a master's in finance or an MCOM, or everybody has to have a NISM 10A 10B certification. Every year the renewal of certification should happen with the examination, and the experience also. There he or she should have a financial experience of minimum of 5 years. So all has to have, because of which most of the people have surrendered. If you say if a corporate has surrendered, then the reason is all the people working with the corporate is not an NISM 10A 10B certified. They may not have a 5-year certification. Each and everybody should have. That is a compulsion. So next is, if you see, examination and registration, and investment advisor as defined above is required to register under SEBI investment advisor regulation. However, certain categories of person are exempt from the requirement of registration. This include any person who general comments on group and purchase, which I told you, something which is incidental, maybe general advice. As a general advice, if an MFD gives, it's not considered that you have to have an investment advisor licensing. See, if it is here, it is given any distributor of mutual funds, it is given over here. So MFD and RIA is something different. And any distributor of mutual funds who is a member of self-regulatory organization recognized by the board, or is registered with an association of asset management companies of mutual funds, providing any investment by advice to its clients, is incidental to its primary activity. So it is clearly given that MFD and investment advisor is not same thing. So these two things are quite different. So anybody wants to have an investment advisor. So here is the qualification criteria which has been definitely been defined over here. See, it is given an individual investment advisor or a principal officer of a non-individual investment advisor registered as an investment advisor using the regulation shall have the following minimum calculation at all times: a professional qualification or a postgraduate degree. Suppose you are an MBA in finance, so in that case you need not to have a postgraduate degree, or a postgraduate diploma minimum of 2 years in finance, accountancy, business management, commerce, economics, capital markets, banking, insurance, actuarial science from the university or a recognized institution recognized by the central government and the state government, or recognized foreign university or institution or association of professional qualification by completing a postgraduate program in the securities market investment advisory from NISM of a duration lost less than 1 year of the professional qualification by opting in a CFA charter from the CFA Institute. And experience is at least of 5 years is being given. So person associated with investment advisor. So a person who is working with you as you are an investment advisor, and the person working with you as an investment advisor should also bear the same regulation. He too has to be an NISM recognized certification. And see, here it is given from any organization or institution recognized by stock exchange in India, provided such certification is accredited by NISM. So today they are saying NISM 10A and 10B. Maybe some next time they might say that you have to have a research analyst also, a certification additionally being required for an investment advisor. So they can go for it. If they go for, so obviously we have to change things and we have to pursue for those things. So this is what is the regulatory matter. So I hope I have clarified.
So तो जो पता है कि MFD एंड RIA दोनों एक साथ कर सकते हैं, तो बात तो गलत हो रहा है. How a single person can do MFD business and RIA business एक साथ, jointly how to do it? राजेश कुछ बोलेंगे क्या?
গৌতম দা, এটা আপনি যে বলছেন MFD আর RIA টুগেদার, মানে এই প্রোগ্রামে ম্যাডাম যেটা বলছেন ওনার বক্তব্য about we are as of now understanding both cannot be together.
Yes.
তো
Yes.
এর মধ্যে আপনি কি বলছেন ওইটা আসছে না ইটস এ রুমার ইন মার্কেট or what, is there any whispering or what? If it is coming it is very good, but until unless there are two options in the market, dilemma will be there always. CA are not earning commission, that's why they are into the fees based models. Very simple. Doctors are not into the commission, that's why they are charging fees. But if I have given the two option, definitely anybody would be in the same if and but.
So that RIA license, who keep the RIA license, that is SEBI.
Right.
So we need to ask SEBI, can I do both? So yeah, we need to clarification from the SEBI, not other entity, because nobody can bear the
As of now, SEBI have published anything about this officially?
So SEBI, we clear from the SEBI, not from the any public. We should clear from SEBI.
I think this is already clear, sir. Both cannot be done. Either you have to be RIA or you be MFD.
But today as a session,
there are rumors. People are ignorant. People are ignorant, sir. I met one gentle lady, very qualified, in a flight. He said, "What do you do?" As I'm selling a mutual fund. What is mutual fund? I never listened there. Then how you are investing? I am doing SIP. So people cannot differentiate between SIP and mutual fund. How they can differentiate between RIA and MFD? So this is very much clear, already clear, sir. Both things cannot be done. You cannot both. You cannot take both benefit.
I just want to give just a one line I want to say. If it is open for both, suppose I'm an MFD, I'm also working as an I'm taking fees also and I'm taking commission. Then how can I differentiate as a regulator? How can I differentiate the person is charging both or not from the same client?
You cannot prove your integrity even.
Yes, I can also charge a fee and I can also take a commission also. So
then when you will charge the incentive, the company will give you the commission. You have to be selfish
yes,
that time.
of course. So that's the reason. So it is very, very clear. SEBI will not give the permission to do
Yes.
both. So there is a segregation, and this segregation is maybe for some individuals, for some specific corporates, maybe who are coming up. Suppose for a bank, maybe for any other big corporates who might come up with the views that we can go for. So an individual AMC also, if they are working as an RI, if they want to work as an RI, but I told you, it has to be, the rules are so much stringent that the result, it is becoming unpopular, but it is not that it will become unpopular in the long run. As I have told you, in 2008-9 or maybe during the COVID period, there are people who did not renew their license. But later on, when they found that it's not like that, then they have run for the license. And many new ARN are also coming up nowadays, and they are promising, they are doing so well. So I would suggest that it will not happen. It's just a rumor.
So then why people are doing NISM 10 and 10B?
I think that is mainly on the knowledge enhancement.
Exactly.
That's why I'm planning also.
And that is with regulator. Actually, we have so many knowledge, but we don't have the regulation knowledge. That's why
Yes.
NISM 10A 10B is completely with regulation. This book, NISM 10A book, where is completely written what is the RIA rules. Many people are telling, showing many things, but not showing the books where it's written. That's why I am asking madam to show the written thing, which is believable. What is not believable? We only believe the rules regulation in written on the regulator's book only.
Even
Nothing else.
with even in we don't believe in that also. सब चलता है.
So, madam, when Rajesh कुछ बोलना कर, आप कुछ बोलेंगे क्या?
No, it's okay.
That's why whichever is written in the book.
But always na, this being Gautam da, always there are both the sides of the coin, right? This being a very subjective issue. Say anybody in the family can have the two mind setup, right? One son want to become doctor, one want to become chartered accountant, one want to become the doctor or engineer or businessman. Likewise, in a family, one can become RIA and one can become MFD. There can be a possibility. So SEBI have to think out in this way, broaden view, not in a narrow way. Two brother, one would like to interact with the people in as a distributor model, one as a, if I am in the capacity of being RIA charging fees, then it is charging fees and then simultaneously I'm earning commission in any mode, in any how, then it's a wrong, it's a conflict of interest. But if somebody in my family who is a separate entity, I mean to say he's my brother, though wife, though sister, never mind, what's the problem? They are earning in their capacity as a distributor. What's the harm?
सर ब्रदर के लिए तो रोका ही नहीं है ना.
I mean to,
there is no guideline.
I doesn't mean brother. I mean to say any relative, any blood relatives, any blood relation, brother, sister, father, mother, son, daughter, whoever. If your son would like to be distributor, and in that capacity is earning 1 lakh per annum, and if you in your capacity as an RIA, you are earning 1 lakh, what's the harm? They are two different entity. They have two different license. One is for RIA, one is for distributor. What's the wrong? In that way, SEBI has to think, because they are two different person. They are two different entity. My wife or my brother or sister can work in a government organization and can earn 50,000 per month salary, but he or she cannot be a distributor. If I am RIA, then there is a conflict of interest. But
this is a debatable subject.
This is
a debatable. This is a debatable subject.
आपने लोहे की बेड़ी बांध दी मेरे पैर में, आप RIA हो तो आप नाच नहीं सकते हो, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. मैं RIA हूँ तो मैं कमीशन नहीं ले सकता हूँ, मेरे को पकड़ो तब. लेकिन मेरा फैमिली मेंबर अगर करता है तो वो RIA नहीं होगा, वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर होगा. तो व्हाट्स द हार्म? इन दैट वे दे हैव टू थिंक. बट ये सब्जेक्टिव इशू है और जज का फैसला, मतलब इन दैट वे, तो एम्बिग्युइटी विल ऑलवेज बी देयर. तो दिस विल बी जस्ट लाइक द, जैसे जज फैसला करता है तो वो क्या होता है, बहुत एविडेंस नहीं होता है, तो भी उनको बेस्ड ऑन द एविडेंस एक मेरे को कॉल लेना पड़ता है based on the evidence produced, but that doesn't mean that he is a culprit or he is innocent.
राजेश जी, SEBI परमिशन नहीं देने वाली, as per my opinion. आसानी से.
ये माइंडसेट है, आपको लगता नहीं देने वाली है, मेरे को लगता है कल को 3 साल बाद
3 साल बाद क्या होगा नहीं पता, पर नियर फ्यूचर में, नियर फ्यूचर 1-2 साल में नहीं होने वाला है.
This is a debatable issue.
क्योंकि this started in 2020, early 2020, this debate.
Because अगर आपको RIA मॉडल को ही प्रमोट करना है इंडिया में, तो आप डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर मॉडल ही स्क्रैप कर दो ना, खत्म. 1 2 3. इतना 10 साल से लड़ाई लड़ने का दरकार ही नहीं है. ऐसे भी आप ट्रेल तो खत्म कर रहे हो, आस्ते आस्ते कम ही हो चुका है.
हाँ, वो तो बिल्कुल खत्म हो चुका है.
तो आप ऑप्शन दे दो, आने वाले 3 साल के बाद में हम डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर मॉडल खत्म कर देंगे. जो RIA बनना चाहता है RIA मॉडल कर ले या निकल जाइए, खत्म हो गया.
बट प्रमोशन के लिए डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर मॉडल बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. RIA will not promote the product. ये एम से को भी पता है.
अगेन ये सब्जेक्टिव इशू हो गया. अभी जो मॉडल चल रहा है वो ट्रेडिशनल मॉडल है, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर. कल को क्या मॉडल चलेगा किसी को भी नहीं पता. कल को हो सकता है RIA मॉडल ही स्क्रैप हो जाए, खत्म हो जाए इंडिया में. नहीं चल रहा है. वी आर नॉट US. तो यूएस में जो
क्योंकि
चल रहा है हम लोग ब्लाइंडली वो फॉलो कर रहे हैं। यहाँ पे पर कैपिटा इनकम, डू यू नो द इंडिया एज ए वर्ल्ड, इंडिया का रैंकिंग जीडीपी या पर कैपिटा इनकम कितना है इन टर्म्स ऑफ रैंकिंग? मतलब हम लोग यूएस के साथ कंपेयर करते हैं ना कि म्यूचुअल फंड यूएस में ऐसा है, हम लोग ऐसा करेंगे। तो इंडिया का पर कैपिटा इनकम आपको पता है कितना है इन टर्म्स ऑफ रैंकिंग? वी आर 140th कंट्री, मतलब 140 कंट्री हम लोग का नंबर है। तो 139 कंट्रीज आर अहेड ऑफ अस। तो हाउ कैन वी कॉप अप इन दैट वे कि अगर हमको यूएस बनना है तो हमको पहले 139 कंट्री को बीट करना पड़ेगा इन टर्म्स ऑफ अर्निंग। तो हम लोग बहुत पीछे है सर। तो सेबी को सब पता है, बट ठीक है, जो राजा उसी का मतलब भैंस उसी का हाथ में डंडा, वही कहेवत और कुछ नहीं है। तो इन दैट वे, तो अगर मैं कुर्सी पे बैठा हूँ तो आई एम द राजा, सिंपल। तो प्रजा कुछ नहीं कर सकता। तो ये अभी वही है। बट क्या होता है कि चीजों को समझना पड़ेगा। अभी यहाँ पे लोगों को बोलना पड़ता है कि आप डिजिटल यूज करो, व्हाट्सएप यूज कीजिए। एसएमएस से माइग्रेट होकर हम लोग जस्ट अभी व्हाट्सएप में आए हैं, इससे आगे तो कुछ आता नहीं है। व्हाट्सएप भी लोगों को नहीं आता है ठीक से चलाना। अभी आप सोच लीजिए, आपको टेलीग्राम बोला जाता है तो आप क्या टेलीग्राम यूज करते हैं? यूजर फ्रेंडली नहीं है बोल के छोड़ देते हैं। तो अभी तो हम लोग को व्हाट्सएप टेलीग्राम में हम लोग फंसे हुए हैं। तो हम लोग को क्या आता है? कुछ नहीं आता है। तो अभी तो बहुत दूर जाना है। तो टाइम लगेगा इंडिया में चेंज आना। RIA मॉडल से भी चेंज आने में टाइम लगेगा, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर मॉडल से भी आने में टाइम लगेगा। अगर सबको सभी कुछ समझ में आ जाता तो आज म्यूचुअल फंड 60-70% नहीं हो जाता 10 साल में। इतना एडवर्टाइज होने के बाद में भी म्यूचुअल फंड सही है। हम लोग 2 डिजिट में ही है,
2 डिजिट में भी 2 डिजिट में भी नहीं है सर।
वो भी नहीं है। तो
जस्ट वी आर एट 7 to 8%।
तो इसका मतलब क्या है? पीपल को अभी फाइनेंस के बारे में कुछ पता ही नहीं है।
क्योंकि हमें कॉलेज में या यूनिवर्सिटीज में फाइनेंस पढ़ाया ही नहीं जाता ना।
पढ़ाया
फाइनेंस
नहीं
पढ़ाया जाता है सिर्फ कॉमर्स स्टूडेंट को पढ़ाया जाता है।
हाँ, तो
साइंस
अभी
स्टूडेंट को और आर्ट्स स्टूडेंट को तो फाइनेंस पढ़ाया ही नहीं जाता।
करेक्ट। तो अभी आपको घर घर में SIP नहीं पहुंचाना है, आपको घर घर में फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी पहुंचाना है। वो कहाँ से स्टार्टिंग होगा? वो आपको स्कूल गुरुकुल से ही करना पड़ेगा। स्कूल लेवल से ही
Exactly,
आपको
very true,
फाइनेंस
very
देना
true.
पड़ेगा।
Exactly, that
Yes,
financial awareness should come from the childhood.
Yes.
अगर 12 साल मैंने स्कूल में पढ़ लिया और 12 साल तक मेरे को कुछ भी आता नहीं है, even a person doesn't know why a person should have a PAN card or a
আমি আপনাকে
voter
ম্যাম
or a Aadhaar card or
correct.
a bank account, and I have seen people today also बैंक अकाउंट में एक नाम है उसका, आधार में एक नाम है और पैन में दूसरा नाम है, उसको सिंक्रोनाइज करना, एक साथ करना।
आप कोई
मतलब
एक
वो भी
डॉक्टर को पूछ लीजिए कि कैपिटल गेन क्या होता है, तो उनको कैपिटल गेन ही नहीं पता है।
Exactly.
सर मैंने आपको बड़ा सिंपल सा एग्जांपल बताया है। लड़की को सिप और म्यूचुअल फंड में डिफरेंस नहीं था मालूम।
Exactly.
मैं सिप में इन्वेस्टमेंट करती हूँ। व्हाट इज म्यूचुअल फंड? दिस इज ए ट्रू स्टोरी।
नहीं तो अगर
Exactly.
इंडिया का फाइनेंशियल अवेयरनेस अगर ये है तो MFD और RIA तो अपने तक ही सीमित रहेगा, पब्लिक तक तो ये पता ही नहीं है ना।
हमें चाहिए भी नहीं ना कि वो RIA पब्लिक तक पहुंचे।
नहीं, ये आप
पब्लिक तक तो हम ही पहुंचेंगे।
नहीं, पब्लिक तक तो आप ही पहुंचोगे, हम लोग ही पहुंचेंगे। बात वो नहीं है, बात है अवेयरनेस का। अगर म्यूचुअल फंड और SIP ही नहीं पता है तो म्यूचुअल फंड का अवेयरनेस उसका मतलब नहीं है। आई मीन टू से दैट
बिल्कुल नहीं, अभी नहीं है।
नहीं है।
अगर पूरे दिन में टीवी के ऊपर 24 घंटे में 2 बार ऐड आती है म्यूचुअल फंड सही है। एक बार धोनी आ जाएगा उस पर, एक बार सचिन तेंदुलकर आ जाएगा। बाकी तो 23 घंटे और 58 मिनट तो दूसरे ही प्रोग्राम है ना। और जब ऐड आती है तो पब्लिक पूरी उसमें टीवी पर तो नहीं बैठी होती ऐड को देखने के लिए कि म्यूचुअल फंड सही है, लेटेस्ट इन्वेस्ट इन द म्यूचुअल फंड।
बट ठीक है, ये एक इनिशिएट इन लोगों ने लिया है, अच्छा है।
नहीं अच्छा है, उससे काफी अवेयरनेस पहुंची है।
हाँ पहुंचा है। आज घर घर म्यूचुअल फंड ऐसे तो देखिए कॉमन तो वर्ड हो ही चुका है। जो 10 साल पहले सिर्फ किसी ने सुना नहीं था, आज बहुत पॉपुलर वर्ड हो चुका है SIP। तो 10 साल बाद हो सकता है ना कि मोस्ट एक्सेप्टेबल प्रोडक्ट भी हो जाएगा। आज हो चुका है, ऐसा नहीं है। बट जनरलाइज वे में इंडिया में लिटरेसी नहीं है। तो मेरा कहने का मतलब वही था कि पर कैपिटा इनकम जहाँ पे जो कंट्री में नहीं है, हम लोग बहुत पीछे है। हम लोग का पर कैपिटा इनकम लिटरेसी रेशियो कुछ नहीं है, कैसे होगा?
सर लाइफ इंश्योरेंस के सिर्फ बिलो 4% पेनिट्रेशन है पूरे इंडिया में।
करेक्ट।
और LIC कितने सालों से 1956 से वो इंश्योरेंस बिजनेस कर रहा है और अभी तक पेनिट्रेशन कितना है? लेस देन 4% इन इंडिया।
सिंपल है ना, इंडियन माइंडसेट।
क्योंकि अवेयरनेस नहीं है।
अवेयरनेस नहीं है और इंडियन माइंडसेट अब में वो फाइनेंस बोलिए या सेविंग्स का कॉन्सेप्ट है, लेकिन क्या है ना कि वो एट द लास्ट स्टेज है, पहले नहीं है, प्राइमरी में नहीं है, बिकॉज वो आपका बेसिक में नहीं है ना।
तो ये मैडम, ये हम लोग ये बैच कब चालू कर पाएंगे? हमारा 10 का जो मेन काम है, RIA लेना नहीं है, लेकिन उसका बिजनेस बढ़ाने के लिए पढ़ाई जरूरी है। वो जो आज का पूरा दिन में जो इतना सारा हम लोग बातचीत किया है, उसमें तो यही आया है कि हम लोग का RIA हम लोग ऑफिशियली नहीं कर पाता है, लेकिन हम लोग को तो बिजनेस के लिए RIA का वो फॉलो अप करना ही पड़ता है, तब ये हम लोग बिजनेस आगे बढ़ेगा। तो ये हम लोग कब क्या कर पाएंगे, कब से चालू कर पाएंगे, कितना टाइम ड्यूरेशन लगेगा, ये दोनों पेपर में 10A 10B, क्योंकि नया सिलेबस तो पूरा चेंज हो गया पुराना सिलेबस से, तो थोड़ा
Just wanted to say we see if there are minimum 10 to 15 candidates, we can start for the batch. And since see, I just wanted to say कि actually if I count the pages, it's more than 500 to 700 pages in the book. So I can do it in such a way if I can mark the important. If I mark only the important pages where to study and all, and rest can be done, and we can go by the case studies and by the question papers, then we can complete it at rest if they can do it themselves. If I just guide it in the during the class hours, then at least 12 classes is a requirement.
per module
Per module.
12 plus
12 classes if I do it,
14
then
15 classes minimum.
12
I think.
classes plus 2. Buffer I kept another 2.
This is 1.5 month minimum time.
Time can be Saturday, today, suppose from 4 to 6 as we have connected, we can go for it, and then Sunday. Sunday
That-
can be an afternoon class also, 11 to 1. It is possible for all.
That will 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks.
Yes, because they need to study it also. Because I will, such a big book, such a huge syllabus, I will not be able to go through all the things line by line. So I can give a brief analysis of the chapter, and we can go by the case studies and the questions. And the questions, and can go by the case studies and the questions which are being required for the examination. And rest, they need to study them themselves. So I can point out, give them the important pages or the points as I have marked it. Just now I've shown that in the book itself I've marked in yellow. So that is how I will be telling them these are the important lines they need to go through. I can give a brief of it, and they have to go give the. I can discuss more on the case studies and on the short questions, or I can go by the test and all, so that they can be able to complete it. Otherwise, if I want to go chapter by chapter, it will take 3 to 4 months. That is not possible for each one to go for giving the examination, because they themselves already are there in the market, and they have already done so many certifications, so they don't require so much of detailing during the classes. Only thing is that I can help them on the pages or the lines where it is important. I can explain to them and give a brief of the chapter which is being given, and I can give a set of question papers which they will be able to solve it themselves, and that is how we can go for and move on to the next. That is why now we can complete the syllabus within 14 to 15 classes maximum, and after that they have to go for the test. So classes, if you say, since I myself, as I told you, I myself have some scheduled classes and exams this month, so I can start it by August, end of July.
So we can start this end of this month or first week, or when we can start this? Tentative schedule, we should know tentative schedule when we can start the batch.
Madam is on
Tentative schedule, I can announce it on a separate, after discussing with you separately, then I can give the dates and we can decide on the dates and we can announce it in the group itself so that they can come. If we require another
It's
section student.
yes, it's should be I think after 7th August it would be for everybody will be free, because MFRT 567 before many people have another exam, PMS and everything. So
I don't have an objection. You can go.
yeah, we should, if we start after 7th August, it will be helpful for everyone. Participation will be there. Rajesh, am I right or wrong?
correct, Gautam.
Yeah, because this month we have another, we have already PMS batch is running. So PMS exam also be there. And
The
many
7th
people.
After 7th means you will be saying that the next session will be starting the session is on 13th and 14th will be the session. 13th will be the first session. 13th. 7th means it will be 13th of August. Right? First session will be a 13th of August. Then.
Like this.
13th of August. If I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, maybe just before the pujas, we will be ending up the sessions.
Yes, before puja we need complete one paper. That it may be some weeks you can take 3 days also. Any working day at night.
Gautam, what you are discussing with madam is for level 1 or both level 1 and 2?
Both the first level 1, then level 2. Because if you had cleared old level 1, that will not work at this time. Completely changes the syllabus. So you need to, if you have our NISM 10A 10B not CP program, always it's go to the exam. So if you have cleared NISM 10A previous old syllabus, you need to clear further new syllabus, because new syllabus is old 10A 10B including is new syllabus 10A. That's why the book size is 510 papers.
What's the additional add-on?
Many things changes. Just double. Yeah, old syllabus and new syllabus just double. And you are not anybody who already cleared. सोचता है कि वो पहले हम NISM 10A कर लिया, अभी 10B कर लेंगे, और ये possible नहीं है, वो clear नहीं कर पाएंगे. Without 10A 10B not clear. क्यों completely 10B question answer depend on 10A. 10A is more viable. The regulation, RIA regulation in 10A book, not 10B book. So 10A is more vital than 10B. If you are not clear the 10A, you can't do the 10B.
But you can give 10 level 2 after level 1 anytime, no? Or there will be any time gap between.
They can. That's your choice. You can do level 2 first. After that, you can level 1. That's not.
Once you complete level 1, you can give level 2 exam anytime, no? Or there must be some gap in between level 1 and level 2.
No gap. Anytime. But 3 years is validity
for both.
Both. So yeah, after 3 years, if you go to the level 2, only level 2, then you further you.
But for RIA, level 1 and level 2 both are required.
Compulsorily. Without level 1, you can't do anything level 2. Syllabus is like this. When you see the books, 2 books, you can actually you can see the everything. And in India market, in our country, a level 1, level 2 books is necessary to read every person. That's why AMC people are already mandatory to complete this. AMC people, HDFC already done, ICICI, SBI already there announces the all employees should clear their 10A10B. So MFD maybe they are not mandatory, but AMC people are mandatory to clear the exam 10A10B, because 62.3% the business already direct in retail business. So retail business who are handling, all RMs are handling the retail business from the AMC. So AMC people should know the 10A10B. That's why AMC people are more interested than MFD to clear the NISM 10B. That's why राकेश जी एक बंदा को रेफरेंस दिया है, वो SBI का RM है, वो लोग का एक बैच होगा.
He is a branch head.
Branch head.
He is a branch head. It is compulsion for branch head, not for everyone.
No, mandatory. अभी HDFC में तो mandatory हो गया, सबका करना है.
सबको करना पड़ेगा,
सबको.
SBI में भी ब्रांच हेड को कंपल्सन किया.
हाँ, तो वो करना पड़ेगा. जो अभी जो रेगुलेशन जैसे चल रहा है ना, जो डायरेक्ट बिजनेस हो रहा है उसका हैंडल कौन करेंगे, उसका सलाह कौन देंगे?
हम देंगे ना.
तो वो तो आप तो ऑफिशियली नहीं दे पाएंगे ना, अनऑफिशियली आप देख पाएंगे. इसलिए एएमसी पीपल के लिए मैंडेटरी.
केमिस्ट की दुकान पे जाते हैं,
हाँ,
तो डॉक्टर दवाई देते हैं ना, ओटीसी जिसको हम बोलते हैं, ओवर द काउंटर.
हाँ,
ओवर द काउंटर तो हम एडवाइस दे सकते हैं ना.
हाँ, वो तो हम लोग के पास है, जिसका हम लोग बोलते हैं ना इंसिडेंटल एडवाइस, मतलब तो ही है ना,
ओवर द काउंटर
वही है. लेकिन सबका पास ये NISM 10A 10B का बुक का नॉलेज होना चाहिए. सबका ना ऊपर है, थोड़ा है, लेकिन इसका डेप्थ नहीं है. आज आप जितना मैडम ने अभी तक बताया, जितना आपको देखा दिया, आप किसी का बात नहीं मानेंगे. जो क्या हो रहा है, आपकी बुक में क्या लिखा है क्लियर है. ये RIA कौन बन सकता है, उसका क्या चाहिए, एक क्लैरिटी बुक से है. RO NISM का ही है, गवर्नमेंट का ही है, तब होगा. ठीक है ना? तो ये हम लोग को वो मान के चलना पड़ेगा. तो एनीवे, तो हम लोग पहले इस महीने हम लोग खत्म कर लेते हैं. तो ये मेरा ख्याल से अगस्त महीने में स्टार्ट करने सबके लिए अच्छा होगा. और ये वो SBI वाला वो लोग को बैच बनाएंगे, तो वो लोग के लिए एक बैच
आप उनसे आशीष से बात कर लीजिए.
वो लोग के लिए वो स्पेशल वो एक बैच,
एक अलग बैच बन
जाएगा, तो वो लोग के करेंगे. लेकिन हमारा MFD के लिए बहुत सारा प्रोग्राम है इस महीने में. मेरा तो जान के है ना सबके साथ, ऐसा तो नहीं होगा तो वो अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं ले पाएंगे. ठीक है ना? तो आज यहीं पे खत्म करना चाहिए. राजेश और कुछ बोलना चाहता है तो बोल दीजिए. आप तो सब आदमी, बहुत आदमी तो निकाल किया, कोई कुछ नहीं बोलता है. ये लोग इसका क्वेरी नहीं होता है तो क्या जानता है? क्वेरी होना चाहिए ना कुछ.
क्वेरी तो तभी होगा ना जब कुछ रीडिंग करेंगे, स्टडी करेंगे.
हाँ, यस. राजेश कुछ बताएंगे एंड में?
ठीक, Gautam, the NISM level 1 to level 2, as it's demanding, and simultaneous there are a few other certifications जैसे CWMA, CFP का don't know क्या होगा फ्यूचर में, because बाद में एग्जाम भी CW में भी बोल रहे हैं कि एग्जाम देना पड़ेगा after 3 years. तो but
yes,
those who have not unable to do the CFP, उनके लिए I think the level 1 and level 2 is the best.
yes.
And now as you said कि उसका syllabus भी exhaustive हो चुका है, then it would be more interesting.
yes. तो अभी RIA का मतलब जो CFP CW सर्टिफिकेट यूज करेंगे, तो वो लोग जब रिन्यूअल का टाइम में उसका वो एग्जाम देना है में मेन पैसा की बात है, दूसरा क्लियर नहीं कर पाएंगे। उससे अच्छा है 10 and 10B.
Same thing will happen to level 1, level 2. Na? Those who pass today level 1, level 2, they again have to appear for level 1, level 2 after 3 years down the line.
That's why, Rajesh, you are rightly say. That's why I am creating the academy for regular touch-up, regular training.
Correct.
Otherwise, nobody can do it in one fine morning, one fine night. Nobody can. ये रेगुलर बेसिस उसका कुछ ना कुछ नॉलेज उसका लेना पड़ेगा, तो अब ये एग्जाम, क्योंकि NISM का मेन थॉट्स क्या है जानते हैं, उसका कॉन्सेप्ट, हमारे इंडियन इकोनॉमी का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, वो कॉन्सेप्ट किसी के पास क्लियर नहीं होगा, कोई एग्जाम नहीं क्लियर कर पाएंगे। वो NISM अगला दिन NISM 5 भी नहीं क्लियर कर पाएंगे, उनका वो कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर नहीं रहेगा। तो हम लोग इसके लिए ना, ये एक दिन का, जैसे हम लोग का हर रोज खाना खाना पड़ता है, हर रोज सुबह उठ के हम लोग को सब कुछ करना पड़ता है, तो ये हमारा ये एजुकेशन सिस्टम में ये हम लोग का ये प्रोफेशन रखने के लिए हम लोग का रेगुलर बेसिस सबको कुछ ना कुछ पढ़ाई करना ही पड़ेगा, अपडेट रहना पड़ेगा। तो इसलिए हम लोग SDGA बनाया, उसका मेंबरशिप ले रहा है। हर एटलीस्ट एवरी 15 डेज आप लोग 3 to 4 आवर्स इसमें टाइम बिताएंगे अपडेशन के लिए, क्या क्या हो रहा है, क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं है, तो तब ये कर पाएंगे। नहीं तो ये क्या है ना, वो अभी पूरा साल प्रैक्टिस नहीं किया है, ऑनली टूर्नामेंट पे वो मैदान में उतर गया, वो तो संभव नहीं है। वो गोल तो करेंगे नहीं, उसका लेग तो चला जाएगा, ऐसा टैकल होगा। तो ये वन नाइट में कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा। तो इसलिए हम लोग रेगुलर बेसिस SDA, राकेश जी, हम लोग क्यों ये क्रिएट किया, अभी आपको पता चल रहा है ना जी। ये रेगुलर बेसिस हम लोग नहीं कुछ सीखेंगे तो ये एक दिन में ये एग्जाम क्लियर करना आसान बात नहीं होगा, वो पढ़ाई का बस चला जाएगा। एजुकेशन का ये रखना पड़ेगा, तब ये कर पाएंगे। अगला दिन जो होने वाला है इंडस्ट्री, इतना दिन जो हो गया, अगला दिन नहीं चलेगा, वो लोग का अपडेट रहना पड़ेगा। और अपडेशन के लिए ये लोग का ये चर्चा हम लोग का करना ही पड़ेगा पार्ट टाइम, यही है मेन बात। तो आज राकेश जी आप ही खत्म कर देते हैं, क्लोजिंग एड्रेस मैडम को दे दिया, बताइए क्लोजिंग एड्रेस जो करते हैं, ये क्लोजिंग एड्रेस करके आज खत्म कर देते हैं। मैडम कुछ बोलेंगे एंड में?
राजेश जी से करवाइए सर क्लोजिंग, राजेश जी से क्लोजिंग करवाइए।
अजय जी क्यों, राजेश ना, राजेश तो बोलता है, आप ये ना मैडम कुछ बताएंगे क्लोज में?
नहीं ठीक है, आपने बोल दिया है जो कुछ बोलना है, रेस्ट एवरीबॉडी हैज टू गो फॉर इट, एंड दैट इज व्हाट आई वांटेड टू से। होप टू सी यू सून इन द नेक्स्ट मंथ व्हेन द ट्रेनिंग स्टार्ट्स। थैंक यू।
श्योर मैम, थैंक यू वेरी मच मैम, गॉट ए वेरी गुड नॉलेज, very informative session, lot of misconception cleared. Thank you very much.
Thank you. This is last word is very important, lot a misconception cleared. This today's word is very good, lot a misconception cleared.
Yes, काफी misconception थी, जैसे मेरे को ये पता नहीं था कि इसके लिए पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट की डिग्री चाहिए। मैं तो वैसे ही बाहर हो गया हूँ। वैसे
वो उसके अब ये है MBA फाइनेंस होने से होगा, MBA होने से नहीं चलेगा। मास्टर डिग्री आप आर्ट्स कॉमर्स आर्ट्स साइंस में मास्टर डिग्री है वो भी नहीं चलेगा, ये पता ही नहीं है बहुत आदमी को। पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट,
बिल्कुल ठीक बात है आपका।
पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट मतलब ये तो मास्टर डिग्री MA हो सकता है, MSc हो सकता है, MA MSc नहीं चलेगा, MCOM चलेगा ओनली। अच्छा MBA सबका चलेगा, MBA चलेगा, लेकिन MBA फाइनेंस ओनली चलेगा। फाइनेंस के ऊपर जो MBA किया है उनका उसका ये माना जाएगा। ये तो सबका क्लैरिटी सबका पास नहीं है ना, आसानी बोल देता है सब कुछ।
सर देखिए बोलने में क्या जाता है तो बोलने का कोई फीस नहीं है ना, दोस्तों के साथ बैठे हैं हम कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं,
वही है,
अपना ओपिनियन तो दे ही सकते हैं ना।
yes that's our country, great.
But madam cleared all the point.
Yes, I think everybody should at least clarity is here. but we need to read the this 10A 10B group. This is very important in our system.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
So much. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.